To put these in the Barbadian context, there are two fundamental reasons to protect land. One is the ecological reason. Barbados is a small place with quite a number of people, and the ecological pressures on the land are quite severe. My participation in a land trust in Barbados is the Land Conservancy, and I've stuck a link to that in the chat. The Land Conservancy is a nonprofit. It is a bunch of individuals who aim to preserve ecologically significant places in Barbados. I got involved simply because in my family there was a parcel of land, rabland in local parlance. Basically, it's been in our family for well over a century, but we've never done anything with it except pay the land taxes. And the local community around uses it as grazing land. But it happens to be at Long Pond in St. Andrew, which is a very ecologically sensitive area. And there have been developers sniffing around trying to use it for tourism development because it's very, very beautiful. But it's also next to very important turtle habitat. It is also just barely above sea level on the East Coast. So if, or rather when, there is the next hurricane, it will probably be under 6 or 7 feet of salt water. And so it's important not to develop it in a conventional way. And so I'm trying to collaborate with other landowners around to create a land conservancy trust which protects it forever, basically takes it off the market, takes it away from any political games that could be played with it, and preserves it for primarily the area residents of Belle Plaine and region, but also for the entire population of Barbados. The other factor that makes land trusts desirable, perhaps even necessary in Barbados, is also a function of our small size and enough people, and that is real estate. Real estate prices in Barbados are influenced to a very large degree by international capital. It's a very nice place to be, and so lots of people with millions of dollars to spend will spend millions of dollars on 10,000 square feet. Obviously, that is completely unaffordable for people operating within the local economy and local jobs. And so what that means is it alienates Barbados from Barbadians in a way which basically replicates the way colonialism operates. And it's not that the people buying the land are bad people. It is just a structural deficit of the international financial system that foreigners can buy land in ways that make it unaffordable for local residents. So, for example, between 2020 and 2022, the rental price for 2-bedroom apartments in Barbados went up by over 70%. That sort of inflation rate for what is a fundamental necessity of life for many people, a place to live, is the sort of thing which will cause social dislocation, which will spoil Barbados being a nice place for all of us to live. And so we need to find ways of making real estate development make sense for the population of Barbados. I have tried to educate myself about real estate development. I went and took a graduate course at the University of British Columbia, and what I learned disturbed me, because there is a concept in real estate development of the highest best use of a piece of land. And this concept is built into the mentality of developers at such a deep level that they treat it as one of the holy commandments. But what it means in practice is that they conceive of the highest best use simply as the use that makes the most profit. And the use that makes the most profit for a very large proportion of Bajan land is to sell it to some millionaire from New York or LA or Paris. So that, to my way of thinking, is not the best use of our land. And so the community land trust structure is a way of removing some of our land from the real estate game so that it is preserved for actual Barbadians to live on.